There are deals to be had, but you will not find a deal unless you're in the market. This is the market update, and we got a special guest for you today. I'm Bawanka with the Compass team, and we have Charles Kayataba from the Mortgage Minute. He is our in-house mortgage broker, and let's dive right into it. But on the last one, I told you the Bank of Canada is going to be making an announcement. They made that announcement. They actually ended up holding the rates. Now, Charles, what does this mean for consumers?
Yeah, well, honestly, the Bank of Canada saw that inflation numbers had trended downward. Employment numbers came back where they expected. So there was really no need for an increase. So they started to hold. And that simply just means for your variable rate mortgage holders that there wasn't going to be an increase in that prime rate. So everything stayed steady.
Okay, well that's good for the variable holders. We're going to touch on this. We're going to be talking about some fixed in a bit, but let's talk about kind of what's going on with transactions. Now, transactions, they did not change much since last month. There's actually only two more transactions than there was in September of 2023. Now, if we compare that to October of 2022, transactions is down about 5.8%. So things are a little slower this year than they were last year, and it's a lot has a lot to do with what's going on with the rates. The next thing is almost everybody's favorite thing, what's happening with the price. Now, price in September of 2023 was 1,119,000 and some change. Now what we're looking at is 1,126,000, give or take a little bit, and price is coming up. We're seeing prices coming up. If we look back at October 2022, you're going to see prices actually up 3.5%. So gone are the days where the market is dropping. I mean, it's still dropped. It's since January to April or till May, the market went up $125,000, but it's been coming down. And over the last 2-3 months, it's still been going up. So we're seeing price going up. Now, there's a lot of opportunities in the market. If you're not in the market, you're not going to find these opportunities. One of the best opportunities that we're seeing on the real estate side of things is downtown condos. Downtown condos are at 6.58 months of inventory. And basically what months of inventory is if no new homes or no new listings came onto the market, how long would it take for those to be able to sell? And right now it's at 6.58. We haven't seen anything like this since the pandemic. And even during the pandemic, we only got up to about 5. So there's great opportunities to buy, but everybody always says, but what about my mortgage? What about these interest rates? Charles, can you talk a little bit about this?
Yeah, most definitely. So as of last Friday at midnight, the majority of our big five banks are actually starting to decrease the fixed rates, specifically on 3 to 5 year terms and on our 5% down payment mortgage holders or insured buyers. Reason being, bond yields are down, have slightly decreased due to what's going on in the global economy. Now, as a borrower or a buyer looking to enter the market, what does this mean for you? So first off, obviously affordability is now trending in a more clear direction. Maybe not there yet, but in a better direction as it was previously. And secondly, if you haven't already, definitely reach out to your mortgage advisor and get reapproved because of the lower interest rates. That means now the stress test is lower, meaning your purchase power is a little bit higher.
Okay, now we have people who are on variable, people are on fixed. I mean, there's some people who like variable more than they like fixed. Some people like fixed more than they like variable. I know over time, variable is usually going to be the one that's going to be winning. But what does a rate right now look like? Just ballpark of if you're talking about variable and if you're talking about fixed.
Awesome. So it really depends how much down
Let's talk about a new buyer.
a new buyer. So if you're a new buyer putting less than 20% down, all right, then you're probably looking where fixed rates in the realm of mid to high fives, all right? And that's with obviously the rates dropping as of last Friday. If you're looking to put 20% down, you're probably going to get in around the low to mid 6% marks, right? And that's for new buyers coming into the market right now.
Okay, and now we don't have a crystal ball. We don't know where the interest rates are going. But what we do is we study. We study the market, we study trends, we study what's happening, and we try to bring you the best that we're able to do. But with this knowledge, I mean kind of where do you see things going? And I know it's always different, like if you're gonna suggest variable or if you're gonna suggest fixed, but where do you kind of see things going?
Well, as of right now, I see things staying pretty steady. If bond yields continue to drop internally, the banks will continue to lower those fixed rates because the fixed rate is directly pegged against the bond yield, and that's naturally what's going on with the global economy, right? That's not something that's advertised as usually. You'll have to reach out to your mortgage advisor to tell you that specifically, but right now, what we're hearing is that Q3, Q4 of next year is when Bank of Canada could start seeing more aggressive rate cuts, and that will affect prime. Obviously, when those headlines hit, that increases buyer confidence and buyer activity.
Mm-hmm.
We'll start to see probably more buyers out in the market.
Mm-hmm.
But we all know it's opposite. Once more buyers in the market,
Mm-hmm.
then naturally house prices start to trend a little bit upward. But you can speak about that.
Exactly. So then that brings us to our next thing, which is going to be new listings. So when it comes to new listings, this is the amount of properties that are hitting the market. And compared to last year, we're up. We have a lot more. So 38% more listings. We're a little over 14,000. Now, if you look back to September 2023, we were at 16,000. So not as many as last month, but more than last year. And the next thing is days on market. Now, this is for sellers. Homes are sitting a lot longer. I mean, all across the board, we're at 30, 33, 32 for all the different times that we've been talking about. But what that means is nice homes will sell. Nicer homes will sell. Homes that, they don't show well. They have pictures taken from a cell phone, things like that. Basically, what's happening right now is the unicorns are the ones that are selling. What's good for buyers is we're not seeing like so many offer dates. You have time to negotiate. You have time to put in conditions. So it's a lot easier for a buyer, but you will not find a deal if you aren't in the market. So we can't just sit back and just wait for, I'm going to wait and see if prices are going to drop lower. Because yes, they may drop lower, but if you're not in the market, you're never really going to notice it until the headlines start talking about it, until things start changing. And by then it's going to be too late. And when it becomes too late, it becomes very difficult to find the house that you want and to get it at the price that you want. Right now, you can find the home that you want, and almost always you can negotiate on that price, unless it's the unicorn. But those are the ones that are selling right now. And again, like where your best buy is probably going to be downtown Toronto, because everything is on sale there. Before we kind of wrap things up, Charles, is there anything that you really want to touch on?
No, I think what's most important right now is advocating for affordability, right? With the interest rates starting to come down, obviously as we head into the winter months, like you said, things are going to be on market for a little bit longer. There could be an opportunity to squeeze in and find yourself a deal, but always break it down towards affordability, right? If your monthly P&I is comfortable once you include all your expenses.
What's the P&I?
Principal and interest payments. So if your monthly mortgage payment is something that you can afford, plus obviously leaving a little bit of buffer for your utilities and property tax, I think that's how you should make your decision, and then let real estate do what it does over the long term, which is appreciate.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, Charles, we appreciate you coming on. I mean, this is not going to happen always. If you guys like this, if you want to see more of them, always make sure to let us know. Again, this is Charles from The Money Mint. He is our in-house mortgage broker. Highly, highly recommend him. Any of our buyers, we're always sending him his way because he does great work, and really, really good to work with. The other thing is, if you have any questions, if you want to set up a time to meet with us, in the link below, we'll also attach Charles's Calendly as well. But that's another great way that you're going to be able to find us. But this is the market update for October of 2023. And we're looking forward to seeing what happens November and coming in the future. And stay tuned and you'll keep learning more.
Beautiful.